Let's begin. I never thought I'd be the man standing in his own home, staring at his wife's betrayal in the form of cold, hard evidence. My name is Adrian, and my world shattered in a single moment. It wasn't a single instance of carelessness that led me here. It was a slow, suffocating unraveling. Celeste, my wife of 7 years, had been slipping away, and I had been too blind to see it, or maybe too unwilling to believe it. Late nights at the office, missed dinners, the way she tucked her phone under her pillow, as if she were shielding a secret. It started as a gut feeling, a whisper of doubt that turned into an unshakable storm. And then, I found a text message. "Last night was incredible. I miss your hands on me. When can we meet again?" The words on the screen made my stomach lurch. They weren't meant for me. My hands trembled as I scrolled through the thread. Nathan. That was his name. A man I had never met, yet a man who had taken everything from me. I heard the shower running in the next room. She was just a few feet away, completely unaware that I'd seen it all. My love for her twisted into something unrecognizable. Rage, betrayal, a raw, seething need for justice. I could have confronted her then and there, but no. That would be too easy. She needed to feel the pain she inflicted on me, tenfold. I needed proof, real, undeniable proof. My emotions screamed at me to explode, but my mind demanded strategy. If she thought she was clever, she had no idea who she was dealing with. The next morning, I hired a private investigator, Alden, an ex-detective who had seen too many men in my position. He didn't ask many questions, just nodded, took the cash, and got to work. Within days, he delivered. Photos, footage, locations. My wife, the woman I had sacrificed everything for, was entangled in the arms of another man. Hotel rooms, late-night meetings, kisses stolen in shadowed corners. I clenched my jaw so tightly I thought my teeth would break. I had the evidence I needed, but I wasn't done. No, I was just getting started. Celeste thought she was playing a game, but she didn't realize I was about to change the rules. The night she walked through the door, I was already prepared. My heart no longer ached, it burned. She greeted me with a kiss, the same lips that had been pressed against another man hours earlier. It took everything in me not to recoil. "How was your day?" she asked. I forced a smile. "Uneventful. How about yours?" She hesitated, just for a fraction of a second. "Same as always. Meetings, deadlines, lies. Every word, a carefully constructed deception." "I was thinking," I said, my voice smooth, "we should go on a trip. Just the two of us." Her eyes widened slightly. Guilt. She knew. She knew what she was doing was wrong. "That sounds nice," she murmured, sipping her wine. She had no idea that this trip would change her life forever. I didn't just want to expose her. I wanted to ruin her, the way she had ruined me. I started small. Subtle shifts. I began acting like the devoted husband she had neglected. Breakfast in bed. Thoughtful messages. Small surprises. She lapped it up, like a guilty woman trying to convince herself she still deserved my love. At the same time, I was dismantling her life behind the scenes. I followed the money, uncovered her lies, orchestrated a plan so devastating she wouldn't see it coming. She thought she had a lover, but all she really had was a ticking time bomb. She believed she was in control. She had no idea that I had already set everything in motion. I leaked her affair to her job anonymously. The workplace she prided herself on so much, shaken by rumors. Her reputation, carefully built over years, began to crack. Then, I went for Nathan, the man who had stolen my wife. I sent his wife the evidence. Oh, Celeste had no idea that Nathan had a wife, did she? The chaos that followed was exquisite. Celeste thought the worst was over when Nathan's wife confronted him at his office. She had no idea the real storm was just beginning. When she came home, pale and shaken, I was already waiting. I slid the photos across the table. Proof. Her lies, her deception, her betrayal, all laid bare. Her face drained of color. "Adrian, please. Save it." I cut her off. My voice was eerily calm. Too calm. Tears filled her eyes. "I still love you." I laughed. A sharp, bitter sound. "You don't get to say that. Not after everything. You didn't just cheat. You erased me." She sobbed. She begged. But it didn't matter anymore. I pulled out the final piece, the divorce papers. "I'm done, Celeste." She collapsed on her knees. Please, Adrian. We can fix this. No, Celeste. You broke it. And now, you get to live with the consequences. And just like that, I walked away. But my revenge wasn't over yet. Celeste had always been a woman of control. She built her life like a well-curated masterpiece. Polished, elegant, untouchable. But the cracks were beginning to show. It started small. A whisper at the office. A hesitant glance from a colleague. The tension in the air as she entered the conference room. She felt it before she saw it. Then, the email arrived. Anonymous. Subject. Are you as perfect as you pretend to be? Attached was a single image. Her and Nathan, tangled in an intimate embrace, caught in a moment that could destroy everything. Her breath caught in her throat. Panic clawed at her chest. No, this can't be happening. She scrambled to delete it, but the damage had already begun. By the time she reached her desk, the whispers had become murmurs. Eyes lingered. Then her boss, a woman she had always prided herself on impressing, called her in. Celeste, close the door. She obeyed, hands trembling. Do you want to explain this? Her boss slid a folder toward her. Inside were printed copies of her messages to Nathan. Explicit. Damning. Her stomach lurched. Where did you get these? She whispered. Her boss's expression was unreadable. That doesn't matter. What matters is that they're circulating. And Celeste, you know our policies on professionalism, don't you? She did. Oh, she did. Oh God. Oh God, oh God, oh God. The realization hit her like ice water. Someone wanted to destroy her. And that someone was watching every single move she made. I watched her crumble from a distance. Every single piece of her perfect life was falling apart, just as I had planned. I wasn't done yet. She had betrayed me in secret, so I would ruin her in public. Her career was just the first step. Next came her image, her finances, and her stability. I still had one more card to play. Nathan. I smiled to myself as I picked up my phone and dialed his wife. Nathan's wife, Elena, answered on the second ring. Who is this? Someone who wants to help you, I said smoothly. She hesitated. Help me with what? I sent her everything. The texts, the photos, the proof. Her breathing changed, from confusion to disbelief, then to pure, simmering rage. I see, she murmured after a long pause. I leaned back in my chair. You can do with that what you will. But if I were you, I'd make sure he pays. She hung up without another word. And just like that, Nathan's life was about to implode. It didn't take long. The very next morning, a new scandal erupted. Nathan arrived at work to find his wife waiting for him. In her hands, a stack of divorce papers. She threw them in his face in front of everyone. Sign them, you cheating bastard, she screamed. Gasps. Murmurs. The office froze. Nathan stood there, dumbstruck, before realization dawned. His gaze snapped to Celeste. You told her, he hissed, face pale. Celeste shook her head violently. No, I swear. But it didn't matter. Their affair was out in the open. And just like that, the man she had thrown everything away for had turned on her. Nathan was furious. He cornered Celeste in the parking lot, his face twisted in rage. You ruined me, he hissed. Her heart pounded. I didn't do anything. He laughed coldly. Really? My wife just happened to get every single message we sent each other. The photos? You didn't set me up. His hands curled into fists. You were never worth this. Never. You were just convenient. Celeste's stomach dropped. Nathan leaned in close, his voice venomous. You think you're suffering now? Just wait. I'll make sure you feel everything. And then, he walked away. She had lost her lover. Her world was collapsing. And it wasn't over yet. Nathan's wife wasn't done. She filed for half of everything, freezing his assets, draining their accounts. And Nathan, in an act of pure vengeance, he threw Celeste under the bus. Told HR everything. She was fired the very next day. Gone. Everything. Her power, her career, her status. Celeste sat in her car, staring at the termination letter. What the hell is happening to me? But the real blow, that came when she got home. Her credit cards? Frozen. Her name? Smeared across every major social platform. She was now the subject of a viral expose on infidelity. I made sure of that. That evening, as I poured myself a drink, I heard it. A knock on my door. I already knew who it was. I took my time answering, and when I finally opened it, there she stood, Celeste. Her eyes were red, swollen, hair a mess. Her expensive coat clutched tightly around her, as if it could shield her from the reality she had created. "Adrian," she whispered. I just leaned against the doorway. "You look terrible." A broken laugh escaped her lips. "You did this, didn't you?" I tilted my head. "What exactly did I do, Celeste?" Her breath hitched. "Please. I have nothing left. You got what you wanted. Just let me in. Let's talk." I studied her for a long moment. And then I said, calmly, cruelly, "No." Her face crumpled. "You don't get to come back," I said, voice low. "You don't get to crawl to me after you destroyed everything we had." Tears slipped down her cheeks. "I made a mistake." I smiled coldly. "No, Celeste. You made a choice. And now, you live with it." And with that, I shut the door in her face. But my revenge wasn't over yet. Celeste stood outside my door for a long time. I could feel her presence, even through the thick walls. Maybe she thought I'd change my mind, that my heart would soften. She was wrong. When I finally glanced through the peephole, I saw it. The moment it hit her, her shoulders slumped, her hands trembled, and then she turned away, walking into the cold night. I should have felt relief, satisfaction, maybe even victory. Instead, all I felt was emptiness. But I had no time for doubt. My revenge wasn't over. Celeste thought she could just disappear. No, she needed to feel what I had felt. She had always cared about appearances. Her status. The perfect image of the woman who had it all. So I tore it apart. I made sure every detail of her affair went public. An anonymous blog post, a viral thread, a leaked email sent to everyone in her social circle. Her friends, they dropped her in an instant. Her social media, flooded with comments, judgment, disgust. She became a joke, a meme. Everywhere she went, she saw it. The way people looked at her, whispered behind her back. And the best part? She had no idea it was me. A week later, Celeste was forced to move out of her home. Her credit cards were still frozen. Her savings drained from legal fees. No job, no reputation. She packed what little she had left and moved into a dingy, one-bedroom apartment across town. The furniture? Cheap and secondhand. The walls? Thin enough to hear the neighbors fighting. She had gone from luxury to survival. And it was only the beginning. Celeste had nothing left. The once flawless woman who had played me like a fool was now a shell of herself. No friends. No lover. No career. The silence in her new apartment was suffocating. She spent nights staring at the ceiling, replaying every mistake, every wrong move. And then, finally, she broke. She called me. The phone buzzed late at night. I knew who it was before I even looked. Celeste. I let it ring. Once. Twice. Then, finally I picked up. "Adrian." Her voice was raw. Weak. I said nothing. Just waited. I don't know where else to go," she whispered. The silence between us stretched, thick and heavy. Then I exhaled. Good. And I hung up. She needed to learn. I wouldn't save her. Not after what she had done. A few days passed. Then, there was a knock on my door. Not Celeste. It was Nathan. He stood there, looking just as destroyed as she was. "Got a minute?" he asked. I crossed my arms. "No." He let out a dry laugh. "I figured you'd say that." I started closing the door, but he blocked it. "I know it was you," he muttered. I smiled. "Good. Then you know not to cross me again." He exhaled sharply. "Look, man, I get it. She screwed you over. She screwed me over too. I didn't care. But this." He gestured around. "You're enjoying this, aren't you?" I didn't answer. Because the truth, I was. Nathan sighed. "She's done, Adrian. She has nothing left. Isn't that enough?" I tilted my head. Did she stop when she had everything? He had no response. Because we both knew the answer. Celeste tried one last time. She sent a long, heartfelt email. She begged for forgiveness. Said she had changed. That she had learned. That she still loved me. I didn't reply. I forwarded it to Nathan. Let them suffer together. The last time I saw Celeste was 6 months later. I was at a coffee shop, enjoying a quiet morning. And then, I saw her. She looked different. Tired. Defeated. Nothing like the woman I once knew. She was waiting tables, wearing an old, faded uniform. I watched as she forced a smile for customers, her shoulders hunched, her eyes hollow. Then our eyes met. For a moment, everything froze. I could see it, the recognition, the pain, the humiliation. She quickly looked away, and for the first time, I felt nothing. Not hate, not satisfaction, just peace. Revenge had consumed me for so long. But now, I was free. I had rebuilt myself. A new home, a new job, a new life. Celeste. She was nothing but a fading memory. And I was finally ready to let her go. A year later, I got one final message from Celeste. I deserved everything you did to me. But I just want you to know, I really did love you. In my own, messed up way. I hope you find happiness. I stared at the message for a long time. And then, finally, I deleted it. For good. The day I truly moved on wasn't some grand epiphany. It wasn't a moment of sudden clarity or a dramatic realization. It was quiet, simple, undeniable. I woke up one morning, sunlight spilling through the curtains, and for the first time in years, Celeste wasn't the first thing on my mind. Her betrayal had haunted me. Her lies had consumed me. But now, she was nothing more than a name I once knew. I stepped outside, took a deep breath of crisp morning air, and felt light. Free. It had taken months, years, to get here. But I had made it, and I wasn't looking back. I never thought I'd love again. Not really. I had seen what love could turn into, how easily it could shatter, rot, betray. But then, I met her. Sophia. She wasn't like Celeste. She wasn't perfect, and that's what made her real. She laughed freely. She spoke her mind. She didn't play games. For the first time in a long time, I felt safe. We met by accident, two strangers caught in the same coffee shop during a storm. She had smiled at me, easy and warm, and said, "You look like someone who's seen ghosts." And maybe I had. But with her, they finally stopped haunting me. Healing wasn't easy. Sophia saw the cracks in me, the war I had fought, the scars I carried. She didn't run. She didn't try to fix me. She just stayed. When I told her the story of Celeste, of everything I had done, I expected judgment, shock, maybe even fear. Instead, she took my hand and whispered, "You deserved better, and now you're getting it." And just like that, the last piece of Celeste's hold on me snapped. This was what love was supposed to feel like. Not a game, not a war, just peace. One evening, as I walked home with Sophia, my past walked right into me. Celeste. She looked different, weaker, smaller. The fire in her eyes? Gone. She was waiting tables at a cheap restaurant, wiping down a table with mechanical movements. She hadn't noticed me yet. For a moment, I considered saying something. A final word. A last goodbye. Then Sophia squeezed my hand, and I turned away. Because Celeste? She wasn't part of my story anymore. People think revenge is about destruction, about making someone suffer. And maybe for a while it is. But true revenge is moving on, living well, thriving. Celeste was nothing but a ghost now, a faded reminder of who I used to be. And me? I had a future, a real one. One that wasn't built on pain or vengeance, but on happiness, love, peace. Because in the end, the best revenge isn't ruining someone else. It's proving they never had the power to ruin you. And with that, I walked forward without ever looking back.